there. I'm gonna say young and dumb, because I never looked at it like I was something special. I just looked at it like, oh, okay, let's go. I never looked at it as a jealousy because hell, there was a lot of people that were bigger than me, stronger than me. I don't know. It just I never looked at it like a jealousy thing, but I knew there was a lot out there.
Fair enough. All right, Mike. This is the portion of the program where we go to your favorite.
Well, Jimmy, I just want to ask one question before we move on to that, because again, I definitely want to get into this. But just on the end with the Jake the Snake thing, what were the rumors in the locker room about the disappearance of Jake's sister? Did you hear anything about that?
I never knew anything about that. I never heard about that one. I didn't know she was missing.
Well, I guess she is.
That's not good. She was missing.
I guess so. All right, Jimmy, hit us, baby. This is where I'm gonna get crazy.
Right. Let's go to your favorite place in the whole world. Let's go to Texas. My partner's favorite wrestling family by far is the great Von Erich family. Can you describe what they were like to be around, to work with? What were they like as people and co-workers?
All right. First of all, the Von Erichs in Texas were gods. Every one of them was like, they could do no wrong. And they earned it. They really did. Their father set it up for them where they had Texas in their pockets. David was probably the best worker in that family. It's a shame about him.
Thank you. Yes.
But when they came up with that movie, the Von Erichs or whatever, the movies, it's like they tried to blame the dad for everything that happened to him. Okay, it wasn't like that. Somebody asked me about that, and I was like, Fritz? And I said, no. I said, all of them had their own niche. They were all doing drugs. Everything was handed to these people. They could do no wrong. Little Chris, back then he was 13 years old with a $30,000 Rolex watch to school. But I never saw it, but the rumors of it. They were all giving each other their drugs and this, and Chris was. So everything was, like I said, everything was given to him, but it wasn't the dad that made them go crazy. They were already there. They were already pushing the line anyway. I remember doing an autograph session, and I was a heel at the time, of course. And when we left the town that night after the match, we see a bunch of flyers just down the street. I thought we picked one up. It was all about the Von Erichs. So all the cards and everything that the fans had given them, they just threw them out the windows. It's like they didn't care, But that movie was horrible. They blamed everything on the dad. It had nothing to do with the dad. The dad pushed him to do what he made a living with.
Al, on the subject of the drugs, I just want to know for myself, and you may not have the answer, but maybe just from your observations being there back in the day, was David as involved with the drugs as the other boys? Because
no,
I didn't think so.
No.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, no, I didn't know of him as the drug user or whatever, but no, David, like I said, Kerry was the best athlete of all. Okay, but David was the most talented in the ring. Okay, so as far as the drugs, no, I don't see that. But I remember one time Kerry, he was taking a Winstrol V, I believe it was. And he you gotta try this. I was like, yeah, I'll try anything. And so in other words, don't say that either. And he gave me a shot at Winstrol V. That thing had gold crystals in that shit. It hurt like hell. I mean, Kerry, this is what you take? He goes, yeah. I said, I'm done with that. One shot was it for me.
Mm.
Yeah. and that was the steroids. But I had matches with Kevin, and we were in Fort Worth. He's gonna do a sunside flip off the top rope on me, and set everything up. And I get in position for him, and he falls next to me. He missed me completely. And I looked and I started kicking him. I said, "What the hell happened?" He said, "Somebody must have opened the back door, and the wind blew him over." Real badly.
All right, let's ask a slightly humorous question. How do you feel about the Iron Claw as a finisher? What was it like to be put in the Iron Claw? And where would you rank the Iron? Does it hurt when the guy's holding you by the temples? Is he mad at you that night? Does he squeeze extra hard because you're so damn good looking? I mean, what is it like to be in the Iron Claw?
When Fritz put it on you, it hurt.
Okay. It looks like it does. I don't doubt it. I don't want to try it. Something like that.
When Fritz grabbed you with that big hand, I mean, he would push it. He would push both hands. It was like, damn. Sometimes he put his thumb on your temple. It would hurt like hell.
Let me ask you this: when you were in WCCW, right? You guys were that territory could do battle with the WWE at that point.
Yeah.
In fact, if things had turned out. As a wrestler, as a professional, were you ever angry with the boys that they just blew this for everybody?
No, I never thought of it like that, because it was, territories. I didn't think of it like that, because I thought, well, its business is dying, is what it looked like. Because that's when I was there. That's when the WWF started doing their crap, And that was a changing, again, bad timing on my part. That's when they started changing it from a sport to showbiz. Okay? And that was the turning point of what was going on at the time. But every territory was falling, except for Vince and Vince for WWF.
Were you taking Vince? Were you taking Vince seriously at the beginning, or
no.
or did you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oops. Whoops.
I didn't think it was going to make anything, because because they're hardcore fans. There's some real hardcore fans that believe in everything, So, and then when all the talent started going to WWF, Hercules Hernandez, Gino, I think Gino went, or Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Barry Windham. A lot of the talent started going to them. Even, what's his name from here? I can't remember his name. We talked about it earlier. Dick Slater. Slater. All these people start going, the Funks.
Right.
Terry Funk, everybody starts going to them. And these were the big name talent that went to WWF. And if you pay them what they, like I said, it's a business and they're making a living. But when you see your big talent going like that, you think, man, something's going on, And they took it from a sport, because back then wrestling was a sport.
It was.
And then they took it to showbiz. And I remember when I got hurt, I tore my bicep in Texas. And I had to wait till Monday when I came home to say, I picked up a 5-gallon bucket and my arm just fell. Because I couldn't get insurance by saying I was a professional wrestler. Because back then they didn't cover you. You couldn't get insurance for that. So I had to wait till I got home and said, oh yeah, I pulled a bucket and my arm fell, So, but now they get insurance, they get health care, they get everything handed to them, because now it's acting,
There's that timing again. There's
the timing. You guys are the ones that build it.
That's why I said it was like wherever I went, the timing was just, I was a little bit too late or too early.
Couple things I want to cover, Jimmy.
Yeah.
500 level has now improved on the M&P code. Now go to MP30 for 30% off. Jimmy, I got to tell you something, right? I was at the beach again, 500 level. If you guys haven't looked at the shirts, right, go to the website. It's incredible. And I got to be honest, right? So it was a little chilly today. I brought the dogs to the beach. I was off work for the Jewish holidays,
today.
right?
It's cold.
It wasn't cold,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I have from 500 level, I have a Roman Reigns sweatshirt. Now, usually sweatshirts are not always the nicest fabric, unless I'm into really nice fabric because I just don't like things up against my skin. So usually I'll get thinner type of shirts, but this is a heavy sweatshirt. The fabric, unbelievable. And you're going to get a deal at 30% off, Jimmy. I mean, my God, it's a no-brainer, guys. I am telling you, once you get one shirt from them, you'll get 50. I guarantee it. And they've got all the sports. Yeah, dude, tell me what you think of it, Jimmy.
They're so comfortable. I got to get a long sleeve now. I'm telling you, I got to, because it was chilly today, especially for a guy who's been in Panama City Beach the last 2 years. It was chilly today, and I love the material. It's so silky. Is that the right word for it? I don't know.
No, absolutely. Absolutely, dude.
It's so comfortable. So, yeah, I got to get myself some leveled long sleeves. That's for sure. 30%.
And again,
off,
it doesn't, they got plenty of wrestling stuff. They got baseball stuff. They've got football. They got everything, dude. MMA. They got it all, man. And I'm telling you, it's very high quality. Again, 500 level code MP30, 30% off. So if a t-shirt costs you $20, what's 30% off on $20, dude?
It's enough. 10 plus another 20% tacked on top. Not much. It's a steal. It's a steal.
I agree. I want to remind everybody too, the Monte The Pharaoh show, hit the QR code, be willing to check out our shows on YouTube, where we got almost 24,000 subscribers. Go to our Facebook page where we're approaching 27,000 subscribers. And again, if you feel like donating to the show, please go to the Monte The Pharaoh webpage, hit donate. Helps us bring in more guests. Trying to entertain Jim. We've got the big event coming up, so a lot of good stuff happening right now.